up to the Blockathon, which starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Haymarket HQ. So if you're in Sydney and you want to join the hack or just want to be in amongst the energies, make sure to be at Haymarket HQ 5 p.m. tomorrow. So with us today is Nick Taras. Did I pronounce your last name correct?
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
Nick Taras, yeah. Is that Greek?
Yes, it is. Yeah, originally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm Greek too. Penendus though, different, but anyway, I would like to intro you Nick Taras from Smart Token Labs, who will be doing a workshop in explaining how attestation-based ticketing is a potentially more advantageous solution than NFT-based ticketing. So he'll go through some background, go into the technicals, into the code, and then also we'll be announcing, or maybe Brent will be announcing some associated bounties that Blockathon koalas can hack on throughout the Blockathon. So with that, I would like to pass over to Nick, who will be presenting next.
Jolly good. I'll probably jump in first.
Sorry, yes.
All good, mate. All good. I'm Brent from Smart Token Labs. I look after marketing. I'm the marketing guy. So Smart Token Labs, we make tokens smart, and we do that predominantly with TokenScript, which is our open source standard for creating smart token interfaces. And we deploy that in lots of different ways. And one of the ways that we've deployed that is through ticketing. We've created an attestation-based ticketing solution. And one of the first deployments of that ticketing solution will be at DevCon 6 in Bogota later this year. We've done it. We've deployed it in collaboration with the Ethereum Foundation, and we're really excited about that. And that's really what our workshop is about today. It's giving you guys and girls the opportunity to build some magic into a ticket, and that's effectively what attestation-based ticketing enables. It turns a ticket into effectively an open API so that services or offers can be integrated into the ticket. The point of that is to create two things: to create a better event experience for people who hold tickets, and also for partners and sponsors. One of the key ways it does that is it links ownership of the ticket to an identity, and it does that in a permissionless way. So a ticket can be attestated against an identity like an email address or a Twitter handle, perhaps, and ownership is then linked to that identity. And what it does, this actual solution removes the requirement of the event organizer, in this case DevCon, to get in between the ticket holder and people who want to provide services or solutions or offers to the ticket holders. So we were just at ETH Denver, and I think there were 80 sponsors of ETH Denver. They all did all sorts of different things. They had events. They provided free lunches at food trucks. They did all sorts of. They minted NFTs and then used those as entry into certain things. They did all this stuff targeted at ticket holders at Denver, but they didn't do it in an integrated way into the ticket. So that's essentially what we do and what we're doing for DevCon. And what Nick's going to take you through today is essentially a workshop with 3 different scenarios of things that you could build into a ticket using TokenScript to enable a really seamless experience. One's a food truck, one's a party, and one's the minting of an NFT. And what we're going to do is offer a couple of bounties against these 3 different build scenarios that Nick's about to walk you through. We'll offer 5 bounties of $300 for against any of the builds, and then one headline bounty of $1,500 for the best build. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to hand over to Nick. He's going to run you through how all that works. If you have any questions, we've got the Smart Token Labs tab that's been set up by Paul there on the left, so you can interact with Nick on questions around how it all works over the course of the next couple of days. If you're going to go for the $1,500 bounty, make sure you submit it onto the email that Nick's going to publish with your final submission before Sunday at 3 o'clock. With that, I'll hand over to Nick.
Awesome introduction to our technology, Brent. Thanks very much. I'll just share my screen. Cool. Can everyone see my screen okay?
I'm not able to see the stream. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
here it comes.
Can everyone see that okay? Missed a few
Yep.
buttons there.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for introducing that. And yeah, I'm Nick Taras. I've been working on the token negotiator, which is part of the token script framework that we've been building at Smart Token Labs. The token negotiator has probably been in development for the past probably 6 to 8 months, or just a little bit more than that. And designed to feed on and off chain tokens into web experiences. So as Brent explained about the kind of tokens there, we've basically designed this to work with off-chain tokens. So these are cryptographic ticket attestations that you could provide and create for events. One of those being the DevCon ticket attestation, which we've created for this competition and will be used at DevCon later this year in October. And as well as that, the token negotiator can also work with on-chain tokens. For any Web3 tokens, for your NFT collections, you can feed those in through the token negotiator with using the contract address describing which chain that they can be located. Maybe just touching on attestations in general, I guess the idea is that our technology is essentially a general purpose tool that can be used to feed tokens into web experiences, and then through the use of that token or proof of that token, the experience can be extended and made quite unique for that specific user. And based on their NFT collection, based on, for example, DevCon tokens, we foresee there will be some really exciting and new types of web experience that can be created. So one of the examples we've been building and one that you can build from as part of the competition that we're doing is a Hotel Bogota example where I'll show you in a moment with the code where that can be located, where basically you can feed the tokens into a website. The end user can select the token and then they can then use it to gain a discount towards a hotel booking. It's a fictional scenario, but I guess it's could be used for a real use case. So onto the bounties. As Brent mentioned, we've got three bounties, competition entries available to enter for. So the first one is a food truck bounty, where we'd love to see an example where someone builds a website, can be built from our examples, ideally responsive because we foresee that you would be able to walk up to the food truck and use the token attestation to gain a meal voucher or potentially even a free meal, depending on the example and experience you want to create. You'd use the token negotiator, which we can provide in the examples, with the token from DevCon. And basically, those put together, you would get a free food voucher, free burger, free drink, or some kind of offer. But the experience of that level is up to you as an entrant into the competition. So that's the first bounty. The second is a nightclub entry. So this is a little bit, this has an extra level of complexity to it. Hopefully this has got a little bit more fun for people that want to start using NFTs in experiences. So this would be, we foresee again a responsive website. So the idea being you could walk up to potentially the door of a nightclub or a bar and show the token to gain entry. You'd use the token negotiator plus the DevCon token. And in this one, you'd have a dual attestation. You'd have two tokens that allow entry to the nightclub. For this, it would be a DevCon token and an NFT of your choice. Any NFT collection, I can show in the token negotiator API how you can add your own tokens in, and then use both of those to create maybe a visual representation of a token that can prove entry for a nightclub. Number three is probably another step more complicated, and hopefully quite an enjoyable challenge for those wanting to create a smart contract. In this example, Bounty, we would basically like to see a custom-made dApp that uses the token negotiator to fetch the DevCon token, and then using that image, creating their own mint function on a smart contract to bring that off-chain attestation or token across to an on-chain or like a chain of their choice. For example, it could be on Ring-B. And the idea being that if this was maybe a technical challenge at a hackathon, maybe people that can mint their tokens would be able to go to a dev VIP lounge. But essentially, in this third challenge, it would just be to mint that off-chain token on-chain.
Just for 2 secs, Nick, I might just recap with those three scenarios. They're very real scenarios, and just in terms of the context of what attestation-based ticketing is about. We were just at ETH Denver with 15,000 people there. There were about 80 different sponsors. There was a food truck. There was a food truck at the front of the event, and what happened was there was a paper voucher that was given by one of the sponsors to go and redeem a free lunch. What we're offering here as the bounty and this idea is actually creating an integrated promotion linked into the DevCon ticket itself, which creates a seamless experience for redeeming the food truck voucher. With the second one, and basically that would be eligible to, they were giving that voucher away to anybody who had a ticket. Just attestation proves that you own the ticket in this scenario. In the second scenario, there are a bunch of events and parties, side events and parties that people had access to based on, holding a ticket to DevCon. And what Nick's created there is a scenario where there's an NFT linked to that as well. And the third one, where you actually have to mint an NFT as part of the process, it's more complicated. It's a VIP party. It's the sort of VIP party that would be held to target specifically developers. A bunch of people like, whether it's Algorand or MetaMask, wanted to host events that really targeted the developers who are at the event. So Nick's created a scenario there where you've got to do something a bit more complicated because it's targeted at bringing developers in. Sorry, Nick, to interrupt your flow.
Oh, all good. Thanks for jumping in. Basically, we've got two places where you can kind of locate the code. Firstly, the actual source code. This is an open source library, so you can find the code on npm directly, and that's the source code of the token negotiator, and includes a README and all details to get up and running and started. I'll also run through those in a moment as well. And we've created a second repository as well, which is the token negotiator examples repo. So this is almost like a quick start examples repo where you can run a few npm commands and kind of get up and running straight away with the DevCon token attestations. So lastly there, I guess maybe just going back to the competition, the submission should be made by 3 p.m. Sunday, Australian time. For entries, if you would be kind enough to star, and then for the competition fork our repo, and then create a PR against our examples repository of what you build. If there are any questions, and we're going to be around on Discord, so please reach out to us there. And if you did want to reach out to us via email, please reach out on sayhi@smarttokenlabs.com. So that's the So that's the slide. So what I'll probably just go into now is some of the actual code itself. Has anyone got any questions so far, or shall I just kind of jump into the examples? I'll move on into the examples. Yes, and I'll just spin them up. Maybe what I'll do actually, sorry, first I'll just go to the actual GitHub examples just to kind of show how you would get started with them. So you can go to GitHub/TokenScript token negotiator examples. This is the quick and easy way to get started with the token negotiator, where we've got the Hotel Bogota examples here that you can spin up locally and have a look at yourselves. So inside the README here, we've kind of got all the steps to get up and running. So for anyone, for those entering, a little bit prerequisite of knowing some Node.js will be required, just to run some commands on the terminal just to get up and running, and also GitHub just to be able to pull down the code and get going. So with the code basically downloaded, forked or cloned, you can then go to the terminal. Let's just spin up the examples here. Let's get You can first, once you've got the code installed, you can do npm install, and then once you've got that running, you can just do npm run start, and that will spin up several examples to get you going with the code. So I'll go into a bit of detail, I guess, for developers, but we'll be on Discord ready to take any questions and help out as we go. Basically, what we do with the token attestations, they are stored in local storage, so you can clear them at any time and kind of reset them. So what I'll do is I'll just clear the current token attestations that we've got here, and then if I just refresh this page. So this is a mock example of a token issuer. So for DevCon, this might be, for example, an admin area where you've logged in and you've bought 4 or 5 tickets to go to DevCon. So what you can do is actually select each ticket. So this might be that you've bought some tickets for you and your friends to go to DevCon in Colombia. So I'll just open up these 4 attestations, and I can then show you what they can do. Okay, so now we've got these loaded. I'll just go back to the token outlet here. So this would also be, in a real life example, this would be hosted by the ticket issuer, and they would basically store the tokens in local storage, but these would be kept on the end user's browser storage, kind of hidden away from access to I guess any other anything trying to reach them. These are only fed and decoded by the token negotiator. So this is I guess these can be used in here, but I'll just go over to the to one of the examples, the Hotel Bogota example DApp. So this is kind of where the competition would be kind of created for our entrants, for you guys. Really looking forward to seeing what you build. But I guess this example can be reworked, reskinned, or you can just use it as a basis to build your own experience from. So if I just come down to here and just select to just create a wallet, it will ask you to sign in first, but at the moment this is just a mock flow, so we're not actually doing anything with MetaMask with this off-chain experience. Only the on-chain tokens will be needed for your address to find on-chain tokens. So let's connect with the browser. So what happens here is this is actually making a connection to the token outlet. So it's doing cross-origin request to learn the tokens. And then what you can then do is you can feed the tokens into the actual website itself. So Hotel Bogota can then learn about each token and then do something specific with them. So in this example here, for example, if you've got one token, you could do one offer. If you happen to have maybe two people going to stay at a hotel, you may want to offer additional services, for example. For a food truck, that could also apply, where you might want to offer additional promotions based on how many tokens they have. And then in this hotel example, you can then go to use the token itself. I'll just try, okay, sorry, just make sure MetaMask is. Okay, I'll just try that again. Okay, sorry, it's a delayed. Okay, cool. Sorry, it went through. So we just, I guess this is a mock flow at this time, but essentially it just requests that you sign, and then basically approves that the token can be used. In the real world example, say when you buy your DevCon token, we would actually ask for an initial attestation. That might be an email address, it could be a public Ethereum address, bound to the ticket. So when it's decoded, we would then check that you really own that wallet address. But for this mock flow for this competition, we skip that step. So we've kind of got the wallet signing in the flow to show how it would work, but it's not actually checking your wallet address. So yeah, that's the example there. We also have, if there's time, I guess, has anyone got any questions so far about the current flow and competition?
I actually have a question. So at ETH Denver, maybe more pertinent to maybe some of the side parties, did any of them require a specific NFT for entry? And if so, how do they issue that NFT with respect to people holding a DevCon ticket? Was it just like a specific NFT for that party, or was it specific to the DevCon ticket, or was it that only specific people could go, but then those people need to get given that NFT, and then what was that process like? You know what I mean? Like, if you got 200 people and you get an NFT to get into a party, is that like done one on one, right? Like, how you get what I'm saying? Like, what was the process like, if you know?
Definitely a really, really good question, actually. And ETH Denver was awesome just in general. So if anyone's thinking about going in next year, for example, yeah, definitely get down there. So good. Some of the events that would run, say for example, Coinbase Cloud ran a nightclub event whilst down there. So what you do to gain entry is you need to have a ETH Denver ticket. So you need to be actually at the event with a valid ticket. And then secondly to that, you had to RSPV early in to basically, I think it was a Discord channel, or I think they had another way as well that you could go on the website and basically just check that you were going to RSPV to go along, with maybe +1, and then you could then show that on the door that you RSPV'd early to get down there. So yes, it was kind of, probably I'd say it's a traditional, probably Web 2 way of gaining entry.
Sure, and it's probably indicative of the lack of integration flow that you guys have presented. Due to the lack of that, they've stuck to a Web 2 interface, right? Because otherwise, like, how do people get issued an NFT that they then go check on the door? You know what I mean? So I think that just goes to show the benefits of what you guys are currently presenting. So
So much. Yeah, we feel the same actually, and yeah, like although the organization of the event was great, and I guess, like say for example, queuing to get into the Coinbase event and so on. It was fairly well done, but there still was quite a wait to get into some of these events. Um, Actually, probably in saying that there were a few where I think there was a queue for at least an hour to get in. So I guess we feel like, I guess with our technology, we could improve the efficiency of the I guess that process of attesting that you actually valid to enter an event, and it could even be extended be with QR codes and so on with our attestation technology.
Yep, got it.
Just on that point, there are examples of promotions that were done by our sponsors, and you got given when you did your first registration at the beginning of the event, you went through the check-in process, you got registered, you were given a physical piece of paper with a code on it. That's how you went and did your redemption later on.
Oh
And
wow.
and the reason they did it that way was because they just wanted to make sure that just one ticket holder got the promo code, so one promo code per ticket holder. With the solution that we've built, it's already authenticated the ticket holder against their identity, so there is only one ticket holder per identity, and we can deliver it to them through an integrated offering into the ticket. It just creates a more seamless experience for everybody.
Yes, and also Web3 native as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would maybe just show one other example as well before I go into some of the code. If I just go to so this is I guess fairly new off the press of what we've been building, but it's ready and integrated into the token negotiator. So I guess for that second bounty, where you want to not only just the DevCon ticket, but you want to maybe merge it with, for example, maybe if you own a Punk or maybe a Z-Run NFT or any collection, it could be your own that you've actually minted and created yourself, for example. You can kind of bind attestations to do things. I'm just thinking actually, I think I did actually I gave some of my NFTs, these test ones, to one of my colleagues. So some are missing now, but essentially I'll just go into a few of these. So these are actually pulled from various APIs. So you can combine attestations or ownership of tokens to create new experiences. So when you turn them on, for example, you can offer discounts and things based on and off chain tokens put together. So yeah, we're really excited to see what you guys do with this technology. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just move on to the actual code just to kind of just run over top level how the API works and then just maybe come back to any final questions that anyone has. So this is our npm package. So here you'll find a lot of detail of how to get started, I guess what the capabilities are of the token negotiator at this time. And full installation guide if you wanted to go from here rather than the examples, that's cool too. So we basically have two ways of feeding tokens into websites. One is active and one is passive. Active is the flow that I've been showing you in the example so far, where you have a fab button on the bottom right, and you kind of let the end user manage which tokens the website learns. But passive is another flow we have, which is basically a way of the website learning all the tokens on load. So you can see that basically it knows about the 4 tickets without any user interaction. But we do suggest at this moment using the active flow. I think that it's because of user privacy and things like that, allowing the website to learn the tokens when the end user uses them. or wishes for the website to learn them, we feel that that's probably going to be the winning flow out of the two that we've been developing. So if I just go back to here, so for the active flow, basically you just add an entry point element in your HTML. This is basically where the library will inject the fab button seen on the bottom right of the page. And then say for example using React, Vue, Angular, or your chosen library. These are some examples inside the npm package of how you get going. So you basically import the token negotiator. Down below there's some details on how to filter tokens. So you may want to, say for example, someone might have 1,000 Z-run horses. You may want to just filter them by a specific parameter. So the token negotiator has some capabilities to allow for filtering. You can then basically, with the token negotiator, so this is basically how you instantiate the token negotiator in your, actually including this function here, I should say, inside your project. So you describe the type, active or passive. And then here we have, so devcon remote. Apologies, I'm missing a comma in the README here, so this should be a comma here. There's I guess a comma separated. You describe the off-chain token, so that's devcon remote. If you're running the examples locally, you'll notice this is just devcon. But we can cover these details with anyone when they start working on this. And then if you want to use on-chain tokens, you describe the contract address that you wish to tokens from in the chain. And then basically, if you're using OpenSea, we recommend adding this slug, and that's the collection name that you will see in the actual URL. And that will just basically more efficiently bring through the NFTs. Alternatively, you can just describe the chain like so. We support, I think it's around 12 chains at the moment, and including the testnets like Mumbai, Rinkeby, for example. Here are some options. I'll probably skip over some of this stuff, but essentially this is just to describe the text. So what's the discount for when the overlay opens at the bottom right. And you can just add some extra details. If there's a network issue, you can kind of add a try again or describe how you'd like that to work. There's a light and dark mode as well, and positioning for where you'd like the overlay to appear in the client. And then to actually find the tokens, basically what you can do is add these hooks. So when you, I'll just go back to the active example. So if I just go toggle this on and off, inside this hook here, you'll basically receive a list of all the selected tokens. That's where you can kind of manage the experience and build out your own custom use case. And in the example with the hotel where I actually completed the booking, we have basically an authenticate method which is described in this API in the README, and that will basically create a proof which real world solution can be used to prove that someone owns that token, and has a function which we can provide to people if they wish to build a full stack solution, which would check the proof on a back end, for example. This is the passive flow, so very similar to the other one, just minus some of the copy that was required. And again, you can then receive all tokens and do something with them to present them in the website. And then you can also authenticate and gain the token proof. But yeah, I'll probably skip over some of this stuff now because I guess it's all here to be read, and yeah, it'd be great to kind of interact with you on an individual basis and actually like see what you come up with and work with you on your competition entries. Cheers, guys. Shall I pass everything things back to you, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. That's I'm non-technical. It seems like a lot of detail, but we're here and available to answer questions through the Discord channel. Nick will be available. Nick's going to pop in on the weekend as a mentor, and I think James is too, so they'll be around and also can answer questions. 5 bounties are $300, one $1,500 bounty. If it seems complicated, go for the simple one. Do the food truck. Just hit Nick up, and he'll help shadow you to execute the food truck, and you're probably going to get a bounty. So we just keen to see people play around with the code and just get a sense of what's possible.
Cool. It might be useful if you had your GitHub link with further details on the bounty, I think, in the middle of your slide deck. Might be great to put that in the Smart Token Lab, paste it in there. I think we've kind of already got that in our GitHub as well, but I think just to kind of double it up a bit would be great. And then any other relevant links as well would be great. Yeah.
Definitely.
Any other questions, statements, comments, anyone? If not, I think that will be it for this workshop. Once again, I'd like to thank Nick and Brent for their time and presenting this workshop and then offering some bounties that everyone can work on. So very excited about that. So with that, I think we'll wrap this up.
Terrific. Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us. It's been awesome. And
Cool.
look forward to the entries.
Great.